Now it's time for another exciting episode of Wasters, or as I like to say, Wasters. Wasters. That's right, Wasters. You know how there's a TV show called Hoarders? How about instead of Hoarders, they have Wasters? I think wasting things is as much of a problem as hoarding things is. You know, people talk about compulsive hoarding, but I think compulsive wasting is just as much of a problem. I mean, I hate it when stuff gets wasted. Don't you? Because then it's wasted. It's wasted. It really is. It's wasted. It's gone. It's no good. So that's a good idea for a TV show, don't you think? On cable. You know, they should kind of like Hoarders. That would be an interesting show too. It would get a lot of ratings. Wasters. Yeah. I hate it when things get wasted. You know what I hate? You know, some things I hate when they get wasted include paper and food. That's right, and books and magazines and bubble gum. That's right. Now, I don't get it when people throw away all the stuff that they have. I just don't get it. I don't like it when people say they're going to throw away things that they have that are perfectly good, like magazines and stuff. Because what's the point in getting magazines only to just throw them away 15 years later? You know, what's the point? I mean, granted, it might be timely content, you know, because it's a magazine, but still, it's historic value. So there's no point in getting magazines that you're just going to throw away in another 10 or 15 years. Or another thing that people like to throw away is road atlases. Why do people throw away road atlases? You know? Now I know lately the Rand McNallys have been not very sturdy, but still, I mean, I still have one here that's 6 years old. But I haven't thrown it away. You know, I keep it around for historic purposes, even though I have the new one. And I like the new one too, see? Because the new one, this is the new edition. And I like the font they use here. I like this, see, they use a Sesame Street typeface for that. But still, you know, even when another edition comes out years from now, see, I'm not gonna just get rid of these, because you know, you have them around for historic purposes. So I hoard road atlases because it's better than wasting them. See, that's what I do. See, I'm a road atlas hoarder. I'm a compulsive road atlas hoarder. I have road atlases from the 80s even, that we got back then. Because I'm a road atlas kind of guy. See, it's a perfectly good road atlas. It's in good enough condition. Not a scratch on it. And records is another thing that I hoard. That's right, I have records that I've had for 30 years. Because they're still in... Some of them, you know, they're still in mint condition. And people keep telling me, why don't you get rid of those 30-year-old records? But why? Why? Oh, cool. Somebody liked my wall post on Facebook. But anyway, okay. But now, see, another thing I don't like getting wasted is food. That's right. And paper. Now, I'm a guy who cries when perfectly good paper is wasted. Like, sometimes, like, you hear, I think a lot of that, you know, I still get, I still cringe when I think about typing class in sophomore year. Because, because the kids in that class would type like one letter on a sheet of paper, then they'd crumple the paper up and throw it out. So, I mean, I get chills going up my spine because I just can't stand the thought of paper being wasted. That's right. But, or another thing people do is like you hear about like somebody getting like a whole big pad, like a big tablet of paper. Like this happened to somebody once. I don't remember. This was around the time I was in high school. Somebody got like a whole big tablet of paper or something. These weren't like little hotel sheets like this. These were like big easel-sized pages, and they would draw like one squiggle on them, and then they just rip it off, wad it up, and throw it away. That's what they would do. They wasted paper. And people wasting bubble gum is another thing. Like in grade school. That was like in now see bubble gum is a very bubble gum is a commodity, you know. And I don't mean commodity like having to do with commodes. I don't mean that a bubble gum is found in the toilet or anything. Here's what I mean by commodity. I mean the other kind of commodity, like the economic term commodity. Don't confuse that with commode, just because they sound the same. But see, bubble gum is like a commodity, and it's very expensive because see, they have to use the right formulation to make it bubbleable. And like in grade school, like I remember in grade school, I was probably like in 3rd or 4th grade or something, when they had one of the, there was like some tutor or something that came into the school and handed out bubble gum. And what people would do, now the thing is, almost everybody in the world likes bubble gum, but there's always like a few people who don't. So they would just take. So the thing is they didn't like bubble gum. They just threw their stick on the floor. So you would stand there and you would see a stick of bubble gum, and it's still in its wrapper though, on the floor. So I'm thinking, gosh, when people waste bubble gum, all it does is just drive up the cost. Or they have to use cheaper ingredients. The bubblegum companies have to use cheaper ingredients to make bubblegum. And it doesn't bubble as effectively. So see, that's why we shouldn't waste bubblegum. So some kids in grade school, now I don't know, and there's only been one student who did this. They wasted bubblegum because I remember standing there in line and seeing a stick of bubblegum on the floor in the hallway, because apparently they didn't like bubblegum, so they threw it on the floor. And don't even get me started in 7th grade when somebody threw a dictionary in the trash, but at least the teacher found it and rescued it before it could be taken out. But then, of course, it was in 8th grade, the time the teacher's dictionary fell in the toilet. So that was... But don't get me wrong. Now, usually I'm a guy who cries when books get. But that fell in the toilet. I guess that doesn't really. I guess the humor aspect outweighs the wastage aspect. But that's my idea for a TV show. Wasters.